Ever feel like some family members are just draining your energy after 60? You know, the ones who leave you feeling more stressed, overwhelmed, or even guilty after every visit. But are there certain relatives you should really be avoiding as you get older for the sake of your health, happiness, and peace of mind? Well, today, we're diving into the 6 relatives you might want to steer clear of after 60. And trust me, number 5 will completely shock you. Stay tuned to find out which family members might be silently taking a toll on you and how you can protect your well-being. Number 1. The drama queen relative. We all have that one family member, the drama queen. You know, the one who always seems to be at the center of a storm, turning the smallest things into a crisis. Whether it's blowing things out of proportion, creating unnecessary conflict, or always having some kind of drama to share, they seem to thrive on chaos. For them, life is never just calm. It's always filled with drama. And unfortunately, they often drag you right into it. Now, why should you avoid this type of relative as you age? For starters, the emotional exhaustion that comes from constantly being involved in drama can take a serious toll on your health. Studies show that stress is a major factor in many age-related health issues, from heart problems to weakened immunity. When you're repeatedly drawn into these emotional roller coasters, your body and mind never truly get the chance to recharge. It's like constantly running on empty. Over time, it can lead to long-term stress-related health problems like high blood pressure, sleep issues, or even chronic fatigue. And all of this is completely unnecessary, especially in the later years, when your focus should be on peace and relaxation. So, what's the solution here? First, it's important to recognize the situation. You don't have to engage every time this relative calls with their latest dramatic tale. Setting clear boundaries is key. Don't allow them to drag you into their chaos. If they're always calling with a problem, let them know that while you're there to listen, you won't be caught in the middle of every emotional storm. In some cases, it may be necessary to limit your contact with them. It's okay to step back from relationships that are too draining. Your peace of mind and health should always come first. Number 2. The money leech relative. Another relative you should consider avoiding after 60 is the money leech. This is the family member who is always asking for financial help, sometimes even in the most unexpected or unreasonable situations. They seem to have a never-ending list of emergencies or needs, and they always turn to you when they're short on cash. The worst part? They often try to guilt you into lending them money, making you feel like you're heartless if you say no. Now, why should you avoid this type of relative as you age? For one, constantly lending money to a relative can cause significant financial strain on your own savings, especially when you're no longer working and living on a fixed income. It's easy to feel taken advantage of when you keep giving, only to find that they never seem to change their habits. Over time, this can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration, not just with them, but with the whole family dynamic. Worse, if you continually give in, it could damage the relationship permanently, making you feel used and emotionally drained. So, what's the solution? The key is to politely refuse, or if you feel you absolutely must help, offer non-financial support instead. You could say something like, "I'm sorry, but I'm unable to lend money at the moment," or "I can't help you financially, but I'm happy to offer some advice or help you find resources." This not only protects your finances but also sets a healthy boundary. Remember, you've worked hard for your money and deserve to use it on things that bring you peace and security. Don't let anyone make you feel obligated to sacrifice your own well-being for their benefit. Number 3. The always right relative. Another relative to be wary of as you age is the always right relative. This is the person who insists on having all the answers, no matter the topic. Whether it's about your health, your lifestyle choices, or even your life decisions, they believe they know better than anyone else. If you try to offer a different perspective or express your own thoughts, they'll quickly dismiss you, making it clear that their opinion is the only one that matters. So, why should you avoid this kind of relative after 60? First of all, constantly being around someone who invalidates your thoughts and feelings can be incredibly stressful. It can leave you second-guessing your own decisions, which over time can lead to a lack of confidence. They might make you feel like your experiences or your way of doing things are wrong, even though they're based on your own values and lived experiences. This kind of constant undermining can wear you down emotionally and lead to unnecessary stress, especially when you should be focusing on enjoying the later years of your life. It's about your well-being and making choices that work for you, not someone else's definition of what's right. What's the solution? The key here is to encourage open discussions, but stay firm in your own beliefs. It's perfectly fine to listen to their opinion, but you don't have to adopt it. If they start dismissing your thoughts or trying to control your decisions, remind them respectfully that you appreciate their input, but you have your own views. Set clear boundaries. Let them know that while you value their advice, it's ultimately your life, and you'll make the choices that work best for you. Don't let their constant need to be right erode your confidence or peace of mind. It's okay to assert yourself and stand by your decisions. Number 4, the guilt trip relative. Next up, we have the guilt trip relative. This is the family member who tries to manipulate you into doing things by making you feel guilty. They might say things like, "After all I've done for you, the least you could do is," or, "I'm really disappointed you won't help me. I thought you cared." They know how to push your emotional buttons, making you feel like you're letting them down if you don't give in to their demands. Why should you avoid this type of relative after 60? Emotional manipulation can take a serious toll on your mental health. Constantly feeling guilty or pressured into saying yes to things you don't want to do can lead to feelings of resentment. Over time, this can cause you to feel emotionally drained, anxious, or even depressed. Instead of enjoying the golden years of your life, you find yourself caught in a cycle of people-pleasing, which not only affects your mental state, but can also put unnecessary stress on your relationships. Allowing someone to guilt you into something is ultimately unfair to both parties. It builds up negative emotions and leaves you feeling taken advantage of. So, what's the solution? The key is to stand your ground and practice saying no kindly but firmly. When this relative tries to guilt you into something, you can calmly and respectfully explain that, while you understand their feelings, you're unable to help in the way they want. It's important to remember that you don't owe anyone an explanation for setting boundaries. Being kind doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It means communicating with respect, while also protecting your time, energy, and peace of mind. Don't let guilt manipulate you. Stay true to what works for you, and remember, it's okay to prioritize your own well-being. Number 5, the toxic caretaker. Relative shocking, right? Now here's one that might surprise you. The toxic caretaker relative. This person might act like they have your best interests at heart, offering to help with everything from managing your health to making decisions for you. At first glance, they might seem like the perfect caregiver, someone you can rely on. But here's the twist. They're not just helping you, they're controlling your life, often without you even realizing it. They undermine your independence, making you feel incapable of handling things on your own. Slowly, they start to take over, convincing you that you can't make your own decisions. You end up feeling trapped in their care. Why should you avoid this type of relative, especially after 60? The biggest risk is that they create a dependency trap. They slowly erode your confidence in your own abilities, making it harder for you to maintain control over your life. Instead of being empowered to make decisions about your health, finances, or daily routine, you might find yourself giving up control without even realizing it. Over time, This can lead to a loss of autonomy and self-esteem. It's a situation where you may feel like you have to rely on them, even though you're perfectly capable of taking care of yourself. Not only is this harmful to your independence, but it can also create deep feelings of resentment and helplessness. So, what's the solution? The first step is to take charge of your own health and well-being. It's important to recognize when someone's care is becoming controlling rather than supportive. Don't be afraid to assert your independence. If you're still capable of making decisions, trust yourself. If you need help, consider seeking support outside of the family, such as professional caregivers or medical professionals who can offer unbiased, competent care. You have every right to be in control of your life and decisions, and it's okay to respectfully set boundaries with a toxic caretaker. Your health and happiness are in your hands. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Number 6. The perfect image, relative. Finally, we come to the perfect image relative. This is the family member who constantly projects an image of having it all together. Perfect career, perfect family, perfect life. They never seem to have any flaws, and everything they do is met with admiration. They might post perfect pictures on social media, tell stories about their flawless achievements, or talk about their seemingly perfect routines. While it might look like they have the ideal life, this constant display of perfection can make others feel like they're falling short in comparison. Why should you avoid this type of relative as you age? Their unrealistic expectations can create a lot of unnecessary pressure. The more they emphasize their version of success, the more likely you are to compare yourself to them, and that's a trap. The truth is, no one's life is perfect. But when you're constantly exposed to this image, it can leave you feeling inadequate, questioning your own choices, and doubting your own journey. This can lead to stress, frustration, and even depression, especially when you're in your later years, where your focus should be on enjoying life and living authentically, not measuring up to someone else's standard. So, what's the solution? The key here is to let go of comparing yourself to them and embrace your own unique journey. Everyone's path looks different, and that's okay. What matters most is finding fulfillment on your terms, not following someone else's blueprint for success. Take a step back and remind yourself that your worth is not tied to perfection. Instead, focus on your own goals, the things that bring you joy, and the relationships that nourish you. It's important to embrace your individuality and live life in a way that feels right for you, not anyone else. After all, the true measure of success is living authentically, not fitting into someone else's mold. Conclusion. So, there you have it, the 6 relatives to avoid after 60 for your health and peace of mind. Remember, it's all about setting boundaries, prioritizing your well-being, and living life on your own terms. Don't let anyone drain your energy or make you feel less than you are. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know if you agree with the list or if there's anyone you think should be added. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.